A pleasant good afternoon and welcome inside Adelaide Arena in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. It is hockey season once again in the Ocean State, and the Rhode Island St. M's are back in action as they take on Boston Hockey Academy. Matt Schultz with you here in the broadcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope that you enjoyed the games yesterday for the RA St. M's as they kicked off the season underway, and we are in game 2 today. A lot of familiar names and faces you'll hear as we go through the season, a lot of new names as well, too. We'll pick that up as we go through the course of proceedings today. There's a familiar face, though, in the number 9 of Ryder Kinsler, and they go right across, tic-tac-toe, and it's off of the 21 of Chance Adams, and Chance Adams picking up right where he was last year and scores that backdoor goal. They'll give the assist to Easton Wallows from Heartland, Wisconsin. Wallows, one of those new players that we mentioned for this St. M's side. A 1-0 lead just 29 seconds into this game. For the 2 of Will Bent. Bent wrapped that one around the backside, trying to get it. Michael Block there for the Dukes, could not move that one out. Was looking on the upside for McKeish. McKeish nowhere to go as the Saints defense pushes in hard. As the 14 in red and white. And that is an added player, and we'll get that adjusted. Sorry, check that. It's Luke Scherer from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hard shot comes back from the blue line. Block sent that one. Karam's off of the backside boards, picked up by Ravnik. Ravnik sent one, blocked down in traffic. Jamie Glantz coming through. Glantz tries to put that one on a shoestring right in front of the net. And an opportunity there for Kalen Blake. And Blake could not get it. Bent broke his stick as it caroms into the backside zone. Scooped out in the corner by Wyatt Britton. Britton moved that one along as he looked for Cole Sabarin. Sabarin nowhere to go, pushes that one into the backside. Try to push it around the backboards with Jack McHyman, and not a lot of room for him to work with. Finally pops out. Giardello, Nico Giardello shot. That one caromed off of the boot of the 7 of Drew Sklar. Sklar picks it up in the corner, working along the far side boards. Sklar, a little bit of a flick pass, trying to whisk that run down to Nixon Eldridge from Salt Lake City, Utah. Karam's at the blue lines, and an offside is called, and we get a stoppage of play, 14:47. Well, if you tuned in late, you might have missed it as they went 1-2 right away. Easton Wallows to Chance Adams on the pass from Ryder Kinsler. Put the Saints on the board early here in this first period. 3 games today here on Fans Only Sports Network. While this U15 side, as Giardello fires one, save made. And the 16s and 18s to follow. Backside doorstep looking there for the 23 of Caleb Rumpf. Pops back out. Carried in by Callahan. Nowhere for him to go. Traffic in front, and Eldridge will send that one. They'll dump it down. Line change for the Dukes. 3 minutes gone by here in this first period. Thanks so much for tuning in today. All right, St. M's Hockey on Fans Only Sports Network, brought to you by Stanley Tree, employee owned and operated, and Hampton Sports Center, Connecticut's Hockey Pro Shop. Giardello from the blue line. Carries that one back inside himself. Giardello looks off, gets that one across. On the hands and tape of the 10 of Bryce Jacobiak. Allen, Texas. A little bit of a hockey town in AHL respectives. As Longfield has that one go off of his twig all the way down, we'll get an icing. Stoppage of play, and it will come back, and it may have hit a Dukes player actually on its way. Hence the icing call. And it was. So it was an icing call. Face-off will come off to the goaltender side. Longfeld getting pushed around there. Puck pops back. Before it reached Kinsler, that actually got picked up. Worked around to the opposite side corner. Battle far corner, tried to come back through for Longfeld. Popped up in front of Cryer, nowhere for him to control. Nicoletta has that one deflect off of his boot, can keep it in at the blue line from Nicoletta. Peter Nicoletta, Naples, Florida, another one of those players back here. Called his name a number of times during games last season. That one came out in front, opportunity right in front of the net. And Dylan Culkin from Binghamton, New York. But it is Yaroslav Alpatov from Kirov, Russia, slamming the door for the Duke's side. Hard shot, came all the way back. Blue line opportunity off of the stick of Britton. Around the backside boards. Not very much give on the boards here at Adelard Arena. Very old-fashioned rink. One of the oldest ice rinks in the United States. And a building that will stand tall for generations to come, as it is on the National Registry of Historic Landmarks, and it is almost a little bit of a Hockey Hall of Fame when you walk into a building like this. The number of NHLers, NHL Hall of Famers, Stanley Cup champions that have come through the ranks of the Mount programming over the decades. A lot of those under the late Bill Belisle, who we sadly lost in the past year of hockey time. Remembered forever by the 32 championship banners of the Mount Varsity program that hang. Makish tried to get that one across for Husek. Nowhere for Andre Husek to go. Carried back by Adams. Adams looking for his second one, as that one came off of Alpatov's pads after the shot attempt from Scherer. Blake into the corner. Peeled back for Bent with the fresh twig after he broke his last one. Will Bent looking for Blake. Blake got the door shut. Oh, Will Bent, as he tried to work there with Kalen Blake, and Bent looking like he's in mid-season form already. Here goes Will Bent again. Got that one poke checked away from him. Alex Espirito, the Pacific Northwest native from Seattle, Washington. Back for Bent. Bent and Jamie Glantz standing out there now with McKyman. McKyman for Glantz, looking for Bent. Kordemanch has that one in control. Kordemanch tries to come across the line, and we get a whistle. Stoppage of play, and played with a high stick is the call. And we're going to get a penalty on said high stick. And in the box for the first time today will be the St. M's. They get the first penalty called against them. And it's the 17 of Jamie Glantz from Stratham, New Hampshire. We'll have to sit for 2 minutes to think about his transgressions. to the 5 of Sasha Basil. Kick, save, made. And that is the 31 of Max Brodeur in net for the RA St. M's. And if you think that name is super familiar, yeah, it's that super familiar. We saw him play last year for the New Jersey Rockets, making the change from the NJ Rockets to RI St. M's. And Brodeur, alongside Carson Mertz, making up this goaltending tandem for this Saints U15 side. And there'll certainly be a lot of conversation. But I think that kind of makes Devils fans cringe a little bit to see the name Brodeur on the backside of a jersey that looks Montreal Canadiens style. Might not make too many Devils fans happy, but the Brodeur family will shake their heads nonetheless and carry on because they are at one of the top academy programs in the country. Caroming back into the backside corner boards. Scooped there by Nico Ciardello. Ciardello, Guilford, Connecticut. For those of you who might be new to Saints broadcasting, we'll give you a little background of these players as we go through this second game of the season. And an offside will be called, gives us a stoppage of play. U16's at 3 p.m. this afternoon. U18's 5 p.m. this afternoon as we wrap up the first weekend, first homestand of St. M's hockey. All St. M's home games in the 23-24 season will be here live, available for free on demand as well at fansonlysports.com. You can always go to fansonlysports.com. Also follow us on social media at FOSPORTZ. And we will always have information on game broadcast times and how to view. Inside for a defensive stop there, as it was kicked away smartly by Dylan Colkin gets tied up. Wallace trying to work that one free for the Saints. Little bit of an open space. Here goes Wallace. Dylan Wallace looking at a chance. Adams Wallace takes the shot wide. Comes on the back. Adams right on the back side. Could not turn that one. And you could hear that thunk off of the hard boards. And I mentioned that earlier here in the period. The glass and the boards, not a whole lot of give. Here goes Wallace again. Drops for Crayer. Crayer fires one out. Patov makes another save. They go back out in front again. Have Adams and Wallace standing on the front doorstep. Crayer right there on the back side. Couldn't turn. McHyman from the blue line. McHyman sends one. Adams trying to get a flick inside. Curls back instead. Picked up off of the corner boards. Britton looking for it again, gets poked back over top of the blue line. Wallace chases it, so too does McHyman. Instead, it's on the edge of the 21 of Luke Kruker. Kruker, Bradley Beach, New Jersey. And a start to the season for him. Crayer, Adams got sandwiched out in the neutral zone there by Poirier. Ryan Poirier, Salem, New Hampshire. Not to be confused with Salem, Massachusetts. For the 11 of Easton Wallace. Wallace back again. Had that one tip off of the edge of his stick. McHyman at the blue line couldn't control it. Got a little help there from Britton. Back for Wallace. Wallace dumped from behind. No call for the referees on the little hip check. Jakobiak. Glance. Jamie Glance. Little stutter step from Glance. Glance comes back. Bar down. Jamie Glance rings the iron, and it's 2-0 Saints. Five and change. They call it unassisted from Glance. Stetland Fleetum had that one come back. Glance trying to go again. Curls back for Blake, and that one just hits traffic. Bent looks for Blake in the middle. Bent set one for Glance. Glance tried to spin around and flick it backhandedly. Lost a little bit of a handle on it. Off on the side for the 18 of Gavin Callahan. As this one will come all the way back. Icing will be the call, and we'll get a stoppage of play. Though it is something out of our control, we apologize for fans trying to look on the left and right side corners when the puck is in the near side to us. 80 degrees outside, 30 degrees or so thereabouts inside. And what you get when you combine the two is condensation on the glass in these old arenas. Therefore, the left and right side corners towards our broadcast position are completely fogged up like we have been taking a hot shower. We will do our best to get you the shot and tell you what's going on. This one right on the backside, shot, score! We'll see the call from the officials. I believe it may have been directly right off. Cole Sabarin is going to get the call for the goal. Nico Ciardello is right there on the back door, and I wanted to be sure who was going to get the credit for it. And it is Cole Sabarin who gets the credit. So 3-0 Saints. Check it. They give it to Caleb Rumpf on the goal. Sabarin will get the assist. Still, to all being said, 3-0. Face-off, won by the Saints, comes all the way down. Alpatov shepherds that one to the corner, and a cross-check has been called. Three and change left to go here in the first period of action. And a power play for the Saints after the cross-checking penalty against Boston. Kinsler. Past Rumpf for Nicoletta. Nicoletta will scoot back to get that one. Sends it forward for Ryder Kinsler. Kinsler can release with Ciardello on one side. Caleb Rumpf comes up the middle. Caroms off of the backboards. Lost it. Overskated by the 9 of Kinsler. Picked back up by Rumpf. Nicoletta calling for it in the middle. Kinsler calling for it. Ciardello wants it over in the circle. He gets it and is immediately shoved into the boards. Puck pop spree caromed around there by the 19 of Courtemanche. Sammy Courtemanche, St. Bruno, Canada. And a very hockey name to go with it. Held for a moment with 41 seconds left to go here in the advantage. Kinsler looked that one in the corner for Nicoletta. Peter Nicoletta, that one off of the side of the net. Ciardello taps that one back. Needed a little help there from Severin. Shar calling for it in the backside. Severin has that one taken away, flicked all the way down. Icing is the call. And yes, you can have icing while on a power play in prep hockey. The rules are a little bit different in that respect. Two and change. 10 seconds left remaining on the advantage. Brayton fires one, and that's paddled up high from Alpatov. Scherer down in the corner. Penalty expired. Back to 5-a-side hockey. Even strength for the last minute 55. Nikita Afganov. And we have finally an Agafonov sighting in this season, at least for my parts. So a face-off back in center ice area. Saints win that one. Longfeld will chase this. Icing called. Came from the opposite side of the blue line. And a miscommunication moment between Longfeld and Adams and Wallows as they chat it over. Dylan Kreyer joins them on the ice. McKyman out there as well. To the aforementioned McKyman as he picks that one up, carries for Adams. Adams dumps it in the zone. Saints will go to work. That one popped back out. Right up front. Adams shot. Save made by Alpatov. Wallows will take that face-off, wins it for the Saints, kicks back. Kreyer. Adams in the corner. Peels this one back. McKyman thought it was going to trickle back to him at the blue line, didn't step up. And the Dukes will take this one away. Poirier. Nowhere to go. Brodeur easily sent that one back. Wallows ticks back one for Adams. Got caught in traffic. Kreyer was trying to look for it. Poirier trying to work with the 5 of Basel. Sasha Basel comes through. Wallows peeled that one off the stick of Eldridge. It Wallows. Adams, it was sitting right in the crease. 20 plus seconds left to go. Wallows. Adams, McKyman in the final 10. It will be held by Jacobiak. The horn will sound here in 4 as Adams is going to go for one really quickly from Wallows. Kicked all the way back. Callahan in the middle will let it roll. And we've finished 17 of play. The doors to our left have opened. The Zamboni will come out and we will see the teams retreat back to their locker rooms. Intermission number 1 here at Adelard Arena. A 3-0 scoreline as the St. M's in command over the Boston Hockey Academy Dukes. We'll take the commercial break and be right back. You're watching RI St. M's Hockey on Fans Only Sports Network.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above. Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above. Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
As we welcome you back and get set for second period action here on Painsoli Sports Network from Adelard Arena in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Saints in command after the first period, a 3-0 scoreline. Max Berder continues in net for the Saints. Yaroslav Alpatov in net for the Dukes as he will go ahead and freeze that one to the pond. 20 seconds in here to period number 2. No standing penalties, so the boxes are empty as we play 5 aside. For all intent and purpose, it was the line of Cryer, Wallace, and Adams that produced a large portion of the scoring. 2 of the goals produced from members of that line. Jamie Glantz, Chance Adams, Caleb Romp have the goals here for the Saints. Andre Husak, Slavia, Slovakia, tried to carry that one through. Sultan Mekesh. As that one is turned away by Bent. Well, Bent for Gavin Callahan right in front. Albatov kicks that one out. Bent along the backside boards, poked at right in the slot. Whistle offside. Ryder Kinsler could not pull it back across. Triple header action right here on Fans Only Sports Network today. We'll have the U16s to follow us. Face-off time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll close it off with the U18s at 5 p.m. as that one will hit the net out of play, and it's going to hang up there in the little pocket, so we'll get a fresh piece of rubber. And a bit of news and notes to talk about. If you heard the horn at the end of the first period and you thought it sounded a little bit differently than what you've heard here in, I could almost say, decades gone past, it was because the horn on the scoreboard broke. So they are running a different horn that is actually manually operated, which gives us the horn sound at the end of periods. Which means the scoreboard to our broadcast right, from what we have been told, is actually on its way out the door. And come Thanksgiving break, we will actually see a brand new scoreboard here at Adelard Arena. Agafonov tried to flick that one around, got a little bit of a pick there, and some help as Britton sends that one in. Colkin was looking for the rebound to the aforementioned Dylan Colkin. Longfeld. Back once again, Colkin and Britton working for it on the backside. Colkin pokes that one through, taken away instead by Eldridge. Eldridge rifled it around the backside, horseshoed it all the way up to the blue line. Onto the stick of Devin Krasko for a moment. Dukes have it into the offensive zone. Have not said that one too many times today. Fight along the backside boards. Longfeld. Arm goes up, and a penalty is going to get called here against the Dukes. It is the 10 of Nixon Eldridge. And he'll sit for 2 minutes for interference. It'll give the Saints their second power play of the afternoon. So Cryer, Wallace, Jacobiak will get started along with Chiardello and Adams here on power play unit 1 for the Saints. Back for Callahan. Callahan had a tip off the edge of his stick. fleet him, trying to carry back quickly, and a good recovery move there. Smartly played by the 18 of Gavin Callahan. Adams has that one scooped past him. Jacobiak looking for Adams. Back for Wallows. Wallows fired, trickled past Alpatov. Callahan calling for it at the blue line. Comes back for Adams on the inside. Wallows! And a huge save from Alpatov. And we are going to get coincidental penalties for extracurriculars after the fact. And the boards, the penalty box door not wanting to open. So Wallows will go into the box. So too does the 4 of Matt Latcha. And it's coincidental, so we continue on in the 5-on-4 for the next 59 seconds. And the net behind Alpatov is off of its moorings. Matt Latcha, Post Falls, Idaho. Home to the blue turf of Boise State University and a whole lot of potatoes. And some other things as well too, but Idaho mostly known for its spuds. Jimmy Glantz looking to ring the bell again. Glantz sends one, and that goes wide. Back for Glantz. Glantz sends one. May have gone off of the edge of the catcher glove of Alpatov. Past Kinsler. Controls it in the neutral zone. Kinsler gets sandwiched to the boards. Poked that one free. And it will be caromed by the Dukes. Basel, check that. Sorry, it's the 9 of Poirier. Off the boards, bent, well bent! There it is. And 2 of the top 3 on the front line have scored for the Saints as the Dover, Massachusetts native Will Bent picks up one. A power play goal for the Saints, so they had just 3 seconds remaining on the advantage when Bent put that one home. Backside for Drew Sklar. Sklar, Husak comes back across for Sklar once again. Curls around the backside boards for Block. Block in the corner. Block bumped off of it in the corner, said corner. From the 14 of Luke Scher. Caleb Rumpf, one of the goal scorers, as he sends that one for Scher. Scher dumps down, took the carom off of the seam on the boards, came back for Rumpf. Rumpf couldn't get there in time. Brodeur will make the save, and it will clear the penalty boxes as the attempt came in from the 14 of Spit Ravnik. Face-off one for Poirier. Had a mishandle at the blue line. Dukes tried to bring that one all the way back. Worked there with Haridopoulos. Behind the fog of the glass along the sideboards, as the Dukes worked through it, caromed out defensively. Poirier tries to clear the zone. Got it to the far blue line, picked up and sent back across. Smart play from Kolkin. Jakobiak. Krayer. Looking for Kolkin. Krayer got sent into the boards hard. Arm goes up, and that may be the 9 of Ryan Poirier headed to the boards for boarding. And it's a minor and a misconduct for Poirier. So he will sit 2 minutes on the clock for the penalty and an additional 10 on the misconduct. So they are going to lose him for the remainder of this period and then some. 9:44 standing. Devin Krasko will serve the minor penalty. And Poirier will sit the remaining 9:40 of this period and part of the third. Wrapped around for Kinsler. Kinsler left that one to the 12 of Matt Krayer. Wallace, Krayer, Kinsler, Callahan as they work alongside the 21 of Chance Adams power play unit for the Saints. Wallows, Krayer, Adams wants his second of the game. Kinsler, Wallows, Krayer. Wallows has it again. Callahan now right from up top. Callahan flicks that one back over for Wallows. Wallows gets spun around, able to keep a handle on the puck. Sends it for Adams in the corner. Adams poke checks that one around for Krayer. Horseshoe around on the back side. Wallows from his knee takes the shot. Couldn't get a full piece on it. Adams in the corner of the boards now. Krayer Culver. Adams carries it back out himself. Alpatov. Huge save as Adams gets sent to the ice. Drew Sklar will get a chat from the officials. For extracurriculars, but we'll have nothing additional added. 8 and change left to go here in this second period, and icing will be the call. United Professional Soccer League action here on Fans Only Sports Network. You can catch Warwick City FC home games in the UPSL. The inaugural season of UPSL soccer on Fans Only Sports Network returns September 16th as Warwick City takes on KO Elites. As we are days away, of course, also from high school fall season. Regular season action at least getting started. Tuesday afternoon and evening, we'll have a slate of games around the Ocean State. Alpatov able to get the blocker pads down to stymie that one. Glance flicks it across. Looking for a little bit of help there from the man in the 14 of Luke Scherer. Scherer. Blake. Bent. Got called. Caught on the line. Will give us a stoppage of play for offside. Husak makes Makish. Back up top. Husak. That one went over top of Brodur's glove as it came flying from Makish. Kept in the zone by Sklar. Britton will pick this one up. Caleb Rump. Rump fired one wide. Rebounds off of the boards. Ciardello was staring at it as it gets sent to McKyman. Inside, Ciardello scores! He picks it up in the slot. And a 5-0 scoreline for the Saints now from the goal from Nico Ciardello. Agafonov. Longfeld. Callahan. Gets pushed around. Callahan, Jacobiak. Jacobiak, backdoor shot, score! It's a 6-pack of goals for the Saints. Nikita Agafonov will get the goal on the assist from Bryce Jacobiak. And a 6-pack of goals for the Saints here in the second game of the season. Longfield looks to wrap around the backside with that one, trying to find another spot in the slot. Off of Alpatov, bouncing puck. Agafonov trying to look for it. Longfield right in the middle of this proceedings, getting pushed around by a bunch of Dukes. Callahan. Agafonov again, and Alpatov makes the save this time. All right, Senham's Hockey on Pennzoil Sports Network brought to you by Stanley Tree, employee owned and operated. Visit StanleyTree.com for more information, and by Hamden Sports Center, Connecticut's Hockey Pro Shop. First weekend in September, the traditional start to the hockey season will be here until the first weekend in March. This one's going to be a whistle. And a penalty to come for the Saints. Easton Wallows will go to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. All RI St. M's home games from Adelard Arena right here all season long on Fans Only Sports Network. Tim Duffy and crew had the call here yesterday at Adelard to open the season. And some exciting hockey games as that one is going to go up into the netting and out of play as Michael Marsalek trying to take an attempt there. Marsalek again, saved by Brodeur. Adams on PK unit here for the Saints. Peels that one out. That's the 34 of Michael Block trying to impede his progress. Krager is going to chase this one. Icing will get called. Still 17 left to play following the final 4.5 of this period. But this scoreline not entirely in doubt, as the Saints have put up 6 goals in a period plus of play. Offside will be the call, as Marsalek tried to work that one. Bent and Britton with 1:05 left to go here on the penalty. We'll work with Scher. And an icing called as it went past Jamie Glantz. Scher. Glantz. Need a little help there from Brand. Shot, score. Marsalek on the rifle from the blue line will get a power play goal. It'll break the bagel on the left side of the scoreboard, and the Dukes are on the board. 6-1. Banska Bystrica, Slovakia for Michael Marsalek. Back to 5-a-side hockey as an arm is up and an icing right away. For all intent and purpose, we believe there will be what they call cutting the ice that will follow the conclusion of this period as well. So we will close the final 3 and change of proceedings and send it to commercial before the third period will come. Interception at the blue line as Sammy Kordemonch tried to carry that one in, did not even get to Brodeur. Jacobiak right in the way. Bent, Blake, Glantz, sent it across. Back for Jacobiak. Back to Glantz once again. Jamie Glantz right in front. Look, that one for Bent. Back for Glantz. Hit off the post. And Glantz, Bent may have gotten poked as well too, and he's down. Who is it? No, it is Glantz. It is Jamie Glantz that was the poked player. And he will get back up and skate off. No penalties assessed. We continue to play 5-a-side. Dukes win the faceoff as Marsalek work to try to carry that one back. They send it across for Max Gerke. And Latcha and Gerke, a little bit of a turnover there, sends the Saints back on offense. Callahan holding at the blue line. Callahan, backhanded flick for Rump. Rump sent one, and it caroms off of the face mask of Albatov. And we get a stoppage of play as that one hit the netting. Netting along the back sides of the glass here. And Adelaide, open net for Rump, hit the post. Iron unkind for the gentleman who already has one goal in this game. Curl back from Rump, trying to look for a hold. Shot, score on the outside. It got picked up on the loose puck. And Chiardello is going to get his second of the game. They'll give Caleb Rumpf and Cole Saberin the assists. Nico Chiardello's second of the afternoon. Two and change left to go here in this second period. The Saints continuing to just shrug along. Nicoletta will chase this one back into the neutral zone. Carried through by Scherer. All the way down. Icing will be called. Stoppage of play with 1:51 remaining. Agafonov. Nicoletta has a bounce over top of him. Scherer for Nicoletta. Nicoletta back for Scherer. As he works his way through traffic, Longfeld. And Longfeld looking for Cryer. Back through the neutral zone. Kruker. Brodeur makes the save. Twigs flying. Brodeur paddleboard save again as a shot came in from the 5 of Basel. Longfeld. Off of the boards alongside the Mount bench area. Inside of the final minute to go here in the second period. What was a 3-0 scoreline at the end of the first has been added to and then some, a 7-1 scoreline. 4 goals here in the second period for the Saints, including 2 from Nico Chiardello. Do they have time for one more? Brayton is going to have to chase this one. So too does McHyman. They wave off the icing. Didn't even get to the end line before McHyman put his stick on it. Carried forward quickly by Wallace. Easton Wallace drops that one. Hard shot out, but makes the save. For all intent and purpose, we're going to get a drop of the puck and then the horn. Puck drops, and said horn shall sound. 7-1 after 2. One more cut of the ice in the U15's game. And a final 17-minute period to play. Mount rolling 4 goals in the second, 2 from Nico Ciardello, 7-1.
Accidents happen, but they don't have to be the cause of financial hardship. Even with health insurance, an accident can result in major medical bills. Let's say you were playing football and an aggressive tackle broke your leg. An ambulance takes you to the emergency room where you were given care, but now you have 3 months of physical therapy before you're back on your feet. Your health insurance will cover a lot of your costs, but you will be required to pay your out-of-pocket maximum. The average out-of-pocket maximum in the US is around $4,000. But you had planned for the unexpected. You signed up for LifeRaft's Accident Supplement Insurance, which reimburses medical expenses related to an accident. Your costs were reimbursed up to $5,000, covering 100% of your out-of-pocket expenses. Now you can focus on your recovery without worrying about how to pay for it. LifeRaft's affordable, simple to use, and flexible products start at only $5 a month and ensure you and your family are protected when you need it most. Visit enroll-me.co/AFA to sign up.
Back here at Adelard Arena as we get set for period number 3, +4 for the Saints in period number 2. And a 7-1 scoreline, 3-0 after the end of the first, 7-1 after 2. And we will be set here for period number 3. Max Berdur back in between the pipes for the Saints. Yaroslav Alpatov has had an adventure today for the Dukes. Dukes will win the faceoff. Michael Block picked that one up as he works around. The 9 of Ryan Poirier still in the box for the first couple of minutes of this third period as he serves the back end of his misconduct penalty. Block chips that one all the way down, chased by Callahan. Callahan into the corner of the boards. Callahan, nowhere for him to go. Worked through the neutral zone. Kruger sent to flick that one back. Ravnik and Berdur was able to get the pads to kick that one away. Drew Sklar. Callahan in the neutral zone knocks it away from him. Makish. Jacobiak and Romp for the Saints as they push that one along. Sabarin was looking for it. And it deflects down instead. Saints will use it as a dump as they'll go for a line change. Kinsler. Blake controls a bouncing puck. Sent it across. Intercepted and pushed by Ravnik out of the zone. Back in for Bent. Bent overskated it a little bit. Bent chases it, so too does Jamie Glantz. And a whistle as it was bouncing around and came up to one side of the blue line, then the other. And offside is called. Kinsler fires one all the way through. Alpatov will go ahead and block that one away. Nicoletta has this one trapped up alongside the boards. A little bit of a bouncing puck finally comes through. No arm up for tripping as down went the 20 of Devin Krasko. And Krasko And Nicoletta getting into it behind the boards. Deflects up off of the glass right in front of the Mount bench. Blake, Clance. Krasko now here for the Dukes. Kinsler. Ryder Kinsler off of the boards. Icing will get called this time. And we get a stoppage of play with 14:08. U16s in action. Coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll have the U18s at 5 o'clock to close off this first weekend of hockey from Adelard Arena as Brodeur stomps on that one. We'll see the other half of the Crayer tandem in game number 2. Dylan Crayer, frontline center for this U16 side. Last year we were calling Crayers in 14s and 15s. This year it's 15s and 16s. A lot of familiar names on that U16 side from last season. Crayer, Ingwerson, Tardy, Griffin, Davey, Nico Bromley, Tristan Hagerman, and a few new additions to the Mount program that are familiar names to us from Rhode Island High School hockey. Giacomo Caleri, formerly Bishop Hendricken High School. Joey Andriozzi, East Greenwich Avenger in the Mount U16 program this year. Adams drops that one. Looking for Colkin. Britton. Wrapped around the back side. 12 and change left to go here in the third, and Brodeur is going to have that one go up over top of him on the attempt from Basil. Saints have to be careful here of not taking their foot off the gas too much, despite the 7-1 advantage as Adams fires one blocked into traffic. Basil tries to get that one out of the zone, carried here by Poirier out of the penalty box after serving the end of his misconduct penalty. McHyman goes right into Poirier and Basil in that back corner. Kicked out and carried out of the zone here by Crayer. Crayer works for Adams. Adams back in front, opportunity for Wallows, and Wallows couldn't get it to go home. It rolls all the way down. Ravnik chases it into the corner. McHyman chases Ravnik. Will be flicked along here by Chance Adams. Adams looks, fires, blocker pad save by Alpatov. Wallows. That one may have gotten a piece of the waffle board. Ravnik loops that one around. Husak, nowhere for him to go. Shoves it back through the neutral zone. Gerke has a tap on it. Max Gerke, Powell, Ohio, has been patrolling the blue line all day today for the Dukes. We have not mentioned his name too many times in the course of play, but he has been out there in a stalwart defender on that third line defensive pairing for the Dukes. A little bit of a collision at neutral ice involved Ryder Kinsler and two Dukes players. We're going to get a whistle, a stoppage of play, and one of the players involved in that play, Shelton Makesh, is going to get sent to the box. 2 minutes for interference. Face-off will come to the left-hand side of the Dukes net area. Kinsler dumping down a Dukes player right in front of the bench. That was Sammy Kortemach that got sent to the ice. Kinsler off of the edge of his stick. Chardiello. 2 goals of the 7 today from Nico Chardiello. Rob Savarin, save! And extracurriculars after the play between multiple players, and this one's going to result in some players taking a seat in the box, or are they just going to let it all go? A talking to from everyone. Emotions running high in a 7-1 game. 10 and change left to play here in the third. Scherer, Luke Scherer, glove save, and that was after the play. And Albatov and Scherer having choice words. And are they going to call Albatov for delay of game? They did. They called him delay of game for throwing the puck in the stands. So it's going to be a slashing call on the 23 of Caleb Ruff, and then the delay of game on Yaroslav Albatov for throwing the puck into the stands. So there's a minute 24 standing on the penalty to Makesh. Romp will go in the box. And they didn't put anyone in the box for the delay of game penalty. Now they're going to talk this one out. So this is going to be a chat between the coaching staff for the Dukes side and the officials. They want the face-off out in the neutral zone. Scheduled 3 p.m. face-off time for game number 2. It'll be the Mountain U16s as they take on Boston Hockey Academy, and then we'll close it off with the U18s against the same said Boston Hockey Academy. Scherer. Glance fires one. Savarin right on the doorstep. No go. Peter Nicoletta has that one tap over top of his stick. Right in front of Bruder. Save made by Bruder. Arm goes up for a penalty. And hooking will be the call. And it's going to put the Saints in the box. Luke Scherer is going to get called for the hook. So a lot of open ice now. Ryan Poirier flicked it all the way down. Brodeur kicks that one off to the side. Came back right in front, took the odd carom. That is that awkward seam where the Zamboni doors are, and it all of a sudden we'll find it right out in front. And Brodeur freezes it to the ice. Up into the netting, out of play, and that was a laser beam headed for the net. Carried by the 9 of Poirier. Hard shot from Marsalek. Marsalek has the lone goal on the afternoon for the Dukes. Penalty box clear on the right-hand side. All the way through! Oh, well bent! Coasty for goal number 8. His second of the game. Bryce Jacobiak is going to get an assist. But Will Bent literally took it coast to coast. Longfeld. Off the edge of his stick as Makish works that one through. Makish dumped down hard. That was Gavin Callahan applying the check. And a whistle, a stoppage of play, and a penalty coming. It's Drew Sklar headed to the box. Two minutes for roughing will be the penalty. So Jacobiak and Callahan. Dylan Kolkin and Nikita Agafonov will start this set. Penalty box empty. Scherer is out of the box. It's a power play for 1:47 for the Saints as Agafonov scoops this one up at the blue line. Kolkin and Wallows work with Agafonov, Callahan, and the 10 of Bryce Jacobiak. Wallows hit the post. Jacobiak. In the corner. Gets peeled out. Callahan was looking for the slot pass that was going to come from the 6 of Kolkin. Jacobiak. Bryce Jacobiak will flick that one across. Agafonov back for Jacobiak. Jacobiak carries it down to the corner. Agafonov exits for Cryer. Cryer along the far side boards. Jacobiak will chase this one back into the neutral zone. Jacobiak for Wallows. Stretches that one across for Adams. Open space. Cryer! Doorstep! bring it back out past the blue line, and we'll get a face-off. 28 seconds remaining on the advantage. And icing right away will bring it back down, this time inside of the offensive zone for the Saints. Ticked a few seconds off of the clock for 23 remaining instead. Crayer past him for Nicoletta. Back for Crayer once again. We'll look for Chance Adams in the corner. Peter Nicoletta using his boot and then his stick sends it down. 21 in green is Luke Kruger as Kruger tried to work that one. That one's going to get called into the box. Will go Nicoletta as he took a little bit of exception with Sammy Quartermanch. And they'll have to take a look at that penalty box door. Nicoletta got it closed, but that penalty box door on the Mount side has been issues. So a 2-minute roughing penalty to Peter Nicoletta creates a 5-on-4, and Boston has a power play. Gerke. Take it away. 2-on-1 the other way. Wallows holds it, and a back check from Marslak. Marslak fires. Berner makes a save. Kick save. Berner flicked around and a stick save on the opportunity that came off of the stick of Stylen Fleedham. What a sequence by Berner. Headed the other way. 1v1. Holds. Kick save. Albatov. Backside doorstep. Crayer couldn't put it away as Wallows tried to flick it over. That was a goaltending clinic as Wallows, and closing the door is Albatov. That is a lot of goaltender save clipping for our social media team to have to deal with after this game. Wow. Forget the scoreline. That was impressive. McKyman around the back side. Ciardello out there as well. Ciardello is sitting on 2 goals for the Saints. Sovereign's going to pick that one up. Ciardello is going to chase for it. Ciardello goes against the 9 of Poirier, and icing is the call. Final 4 to play here. Scoreline not in doubt for the Saints. An 8-1 lead. 3 in the first, 4 in the second. They've added an insurance policy here in the third. For the 8-1, Caleb Rumpf looking for his second of the game. Rumpf got it! 9 and a double for Caleb Rumpf on the day. They'll give the assist to Nico Ciardello. So have a day for Nico Ciardello, actually, as he's got a couple of goals and now adding apples to it. Ciardello. Kinsler and Rump working along the near side boards with Sabarin. 3 left to play here in regulation. Kinsler chases this one into the back corner. Will wrap that one around. Sabarin comes out. Drop hold Sabarin, and that one kicked away. Back to the blue line. Callahan keeps a hold on that one. Looking for Rump. Rump picks it back up. Comes across in a flick of the wrist. An opportunity there for the 16 of Ciardello, looking for potentially a Hattie. Caleb Rump sitting on 2. Is he looking for a Hattie as well here in the final 2? We will have enough time to cut the ice after the conclusion of this game before, off of the goal post, and it came right back out. Almost there for Jamie Glantz. Ryder Kinsler now in the back corner. Blake gives that one forward for Glantz. Glantz is going to come through again. Glantz back for Bent, looking for a Hattie, and that one flipped up over top. Scherer, that one hit traffic and caromed over top of the netting. 1:34 left to go here. Glantz holds. Hattie, Jamie Glantz. Ten full for the Saints. I do not know who to pick for player of the game in a game like this. Scherer works this one around. They are not taking their foot off of the gas pedal by any means. Colkin will work this one along the backside boards. Longfield right in front of the net area. Longfield's going to get this one. Back for Colkin again. Agafonov, Nicoletta. Nicoletta will flick that one back in inside of the last minute of play here in the third period. Nicoletta and Colkin at center. Longfield trying to control that one for Fleetum. Scherer. Longfield. Holds, fires, hits traffic. Block. Yard sale as a twig goes flying. It'll carry him around the backside boards. Peter Nicoletta will tap it, tries to flick that one outside of the zone. Picked back up instead. Will be sent out of the zone. Colkin can chase it. 8 seconds left to go here in the period. Rump gets taken down. 2. The horn will sound, and the Saints have a dominant victory. 10-1 here in Game 1 on this Sunday afternoon. The two teams will come across center ice and shake hands before the U15 side heads to the locker room. They'll cut the ice one more time, and then we will see the U16s on ice in roughly 10 minutes of time. But that'll do it for us here from U15 action. Doubles for a number of players as the Saints pop 10 goals on the board, a 10-1 final. That'll do it for us here on Paisley Sports Network for Game 1. We'll see you back here for Game 2, 3 p.m. Eastern Time or thereabouts, as the Mount U16s take on BHA.